What you are about to hear and watch are concerns that pioneers should not overlook, but as usual, some of you can decide to call it nothing. Before the open mainnet, there were times when we will experience a blank page of the mining app. This was not a problem at the time because we generally assumed the core team were updating one thing or another. As we got into the open mainnet, it's assumed that we are within a more stable environment. Glitches or blank screens would definitely send a wrong signal to the community. I know what you are thinking. I also thought so too. But I can assure you that this time was not the same as before open mainnet, and I really mean it without being biased. How do you explain opening your Pi Network mining app and it is not loading? And I mean, it didn't even show the Pi Network logo, let alone load up any part of the mining app. For some pioneers, it never even passed the spinner in the center of the screen. Just to water it down, I am talking about that circular ring that tells you the app is loading. Yes, that ring. That ring, for some people, also disappeared.
Pi, what's going on now? What did they really happen now? Which kind of wahala be this?
How do you explain that? What is getting people worked up and uneasy is the fact that not only is the Pi Network mining app not opening up or loading as the case may be, it is also not displaying any sort of warnings or error messages. In the past, we sometimes get a message that says, "Calm down, your Pi is safe. We are only trying to get some things done at the back end." Something like that, not necessarily in those words, but you get my drift. Don't get me wrong. I am not trying to create fear, panic, or send out a wrong message. But my fellow pioneers, you need to see the reactions of a lot of people that are facing these issues. This is coming at the wrong time of the open mainnet. Reason I say this is because pioneers are already worried of some of the unresolved issues that many are still facing with no hope of resolution, or the worst of it, no hope of a certain date for resolution. Do I blame them for that? No. The core team are fully responsible for any commitment or lack of commitment by pioneers. I know you will be asking, what is he flipping talking about? I will get there in a second. Stay with me. You need to understand that there are times when you have to throw in the towel or ask for help, or in this case, communicate with pioneers.
It's so sad that after 6 years, pioneers don't know if or when the issues will be resolved.
Pioneers have given a lot of hard work in committing to the support of the Pi Network project, most people as long as 6.5 years, while others also as early as 4 to 5 years. One thing that the Pi Network core team does really poorly is communication. The current panic that is rocking the internet concerning this new unforeseen situation that no one can describe could have been avoided or put to rest with a solution as simple as a tweet, a Telegram post, or a message on a YouTube short video. The core team needs to understand that pioneers are gradually losing hope, faith, and trust in the project, not because they don't believe in it anymore, but because the expectations are not been met. I must remind the Pi Network core team of something very crucial. We have seen this script play out in the past. The outcome was not what we expected. You might think that keeping quiet as usual is still keeping the community together. Well, it is not. Let me remind the Pi Network core team that Nicholas once mentioned in an interview that the price of Pi will be determined by pioneers. Well, that time has come. Don't let pioneers determine the price with the wrong attitude. The price of Pi Network coin is not just the price at the exchanges, there is also the price placed on the community. The community as a whole determines the price because the community in one way is the actual value of Pi, and the value of any product determines the price. Before a lot of you will crush me, I will explain, but if you think it's not making sense, you are welcome to skip the video. Without the community, no project can stand and function on its own. Even when a project has a large community, if that community starts dropping like flies, the number starts dropping aggressively, that sends a negative narrative to the rest of the public, especially traders and investors. When it is said that pioneers will determine the price, many are thinking pioneers will wake up one morning and quote a figure and the rest of the world will bow down, accept that figure verbatim, and Pi becomes king. I have news for you. Wrong. Pi Network is flaunting the number of pioneers that they have. I think it's almost at 70 million now. Is it really at that number? Let's take a look at some real statistics. Permit me to be completely honest and unbiased. As of May 2025, Pi Network continues to claim that they have over 60 million users. I am kind of struggling to understand what they mean by users. Before I forget, while listening to me, I need you to keep this phrase at the back of your mind. Pioneers will determine the price of Pi. And also give a thumbs up to this video. It will greatly help and get it to the rest of pioneers interested in this kind of information. Let's continue. I will be a little brief so I don't make the video too long, but you can always find the extensive explanation in the video I made regarding this. The link is in the description of this video. As of late 2024, 18 million users were reported to have completed KYC, according to the Pi Network. Blockchain Explorer data reveals that only about 9.1 million wallets exist. That translates to 9.1 million pioneers. In case you are wondering, that's roughly 15% of the 60 million pioneers that the core team claims they have. But then, this is the tricky and confusing part. Hold your helmets for this one. Only about 20,000 wallets show daily activities. Let that sink in a bit.
Before you rush and flood my comment section, remember I took permission when I said, allow me to be honest and unbiased. I don't talk my own.
What I have explained so far simply suggests that the majority of claimed users represent passive signups rather than active community members. Do you get where I am going to now? The decline and withdrawal of pioneers from actively participating in the project will greatly affect the ecosystem. And the silence or lack of communication from the core team keeps encouraging pioneers to abandon the project and observe from a distance. Remember the phrase, pioneers will determine the price of Pi. If you want to be truthful in this conversation, you cannot tell me you don't know anyone, or have not heard of anyone, or probably you have not abandoned mining for a while before. Or know someone who have downloaded the Pi Network apps and then they are no longer interested or have misplaced, lost their phones, forgotten passwords, or simply reinstalled the app and started afresh. Think about it. If the value of Pi, which is the community, is depreciating, what sort of price will be determined? Now you can go ahead and leave your comments as you are eager to give a piece of your mind. Don't forget to share and give a thumbs up. Also watch the video where I have a comprehensive breakdown of the statistics and I explain the massive discrepancies with data. My name is Tony, and this is Basic Knowledge. Till my next video, keep mining.